Wow, RFK Jr.'s son just leaked a video on Twitter of RFK Jr. having a private conversation with Donald Trump where RFK Jr. and Donald Trump discuss what sounds like a possible endorsement, where Donald Trump outlines a call that he had with Joe Biden, where Joe Biden called him to make sure he was okay, and where they talk about tons of vaccine misinformation. Stay tuned for that video in just a moment, but how this all started was early in the morning today. RFK Jr.'s son posted the following on Twitter. He said, quote, "I am a firm believer that these sorts of conversations should be had in public. Here's Trump giving his real opinion to my dad about vaccinating kids. This was the day after the assassination attempt. If I violated some kind of law in posting this, my only wish is to have Dr. Anthony Fauci as my cellmate." So this guy is totally on the level, but let's keep going. This is not a cheap fake or somebody doing a Trump voice. This is the real deal. He could have picked a Unity ticket. Instead, he picked JD, fire all the unvaccinated nurses, Vance. Two parties indivisible under Pfizer with liberty and justice for some. So the Kennedy family is doing well. When RFK Jr. found out about this, he immediately had the video deleted, and he wrote this. "When President Trump called me, I was taping with an in-house videographer." By the way, the in-house videographer is his son. So just some context there. "I should have ordered the videographer, his son, to stop recording immediately. I am mortified that this was posted. I apologize to the president." So there's obviously some weird family dynamic going on here. Not sure if RFK Jr.'s son is against Trump or if RFK Jr.'s son is against what seems like in this video is going to be the talk of an endorsement. And then Link Lauren, the former advisor to RFK Jr., who's a Gen Z influencer, chimed in. He knows the campaign very well, and this is what he said. "So Bobby's son posted the phone call with Trump. I remember my first day on the campaign getting in a car with Amaryllis," that's RFK Jr.'s daughter, and Bobby the third, who is RFK Jr.'s son, "and a videographer. They had documented everything. It felt like his son wanted to film a reality show about the campaign, and his dad, the candidate, was understandably throwing him a bone. Bobby III is usually unemployed and chillin' in a typical Kennedy fashion. I don't think RFK himself would have wanted this video out, quite frankly, but as I predicted yesterday, everything on that campaign leaks, so it was only a matter of time. He should have jockeyed for a cabinet spot on the call. Where's that clip? LOL." So clearly there's a lot of turmoil in the campaign between the family and former campaign staffers, and this video really just only highlights how dysfunctional it all is. So here it is.
I agree with you, man. Something's wrong with that whole system.
Yeah.
And, and it's the doctors you find. Remember I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that has like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? It's this massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do so, and I think it would be so good for you and so big for you.
Did you hear that? It sounded like they had been talking about an endorsement. He was referencing something that happened on the call before this clip starts. Let's keep going. There's a part here where he talks about Biden and Trump's call.
And we're gonna win. We're gonna win. We're way ahead of the guy.
So did you hear that? Trump says we're going to win. And then RFK Jr. goes, yeah.
And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy.
Trump says we're going to win. Then RFK Jr. says, yeah. So RFK Jr. and Trump, this is not really reported that much because RFK Jr. can't win. But it could not be clearer that RFK Jr. knows that he is in this race to help Donald Trump. This is proof of that. RFK Jr. is backed by Republicans. MAGA billionaires are propping up his campaign. He has no path to victory, but the gamble that they are making is that RFK Jr. is being in the race. Typically speaking, third-party candidates always hurt Democrats, and when there's a Democrat on the ballot, former Democrat, who is a Kennedy, that is, of course, going to imperil Joe Biden's candidacy. And so this just reaffirms what we already know, that RFK Jr. is only there to help Trump win. Let's keep going.
And, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me, and he said, how did you choose to move to the right? So I guess that's, people say, if I was looking straight on, right? He said, I said, I was just showing a chart. I didn't have to tell him the chart was on all the people pouring into our country, right? But now I just turned my head to show the chart, and something wrapped me. It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito. And it was a bullet going right. It was, what do they call that, an AR-15 or something? That was a big gun. Those are pretty tough guns, right?
So the thing that struck me about that last bit was that Donald Trump appears nothing about guns. He seems to barely be able to know what an AR-15 is, and he also says, "Wow, sounds like a big gun." So it's just so funny that the gun nuts and the people who are so pro Second Amendment are putting their faith into someone that has absolutely no affinity or sort of understanding or love for the culture of guns. And it's just more further proof that Donald Trump is someone who is just saying and doing anything to get votes. It's not unlike the thing he does with Christians too, where he will say any and everything to make sure Christians vote for him, but he's obviously not a godly person, doesn't go to church, doesn't pray, doesn't even know a Bible verse. And Donald Trump it's just so crazy that Donald Trump is the conservative God, and he does not live up to any of their ideals at all. Also, did you notice in this video that you should go back and watch it, that RFK Jr., I think, says 2 words the whole time in 2 minutes? That must be what it's like talking to Trump. Trump just talks and talks and talks. It's what it's like talking to a narcissist. They don't really care what you have to think. They just want to hear themselves talk. So wow, what a compelling piece of video, because how rare is it to hear Donald Trump candidly talking about these things, especially talking about these truly historic events. The thing that happened over Saturday is something that we will remember forever, is going to go down in infamy. Thankfully, it was not catastrophic, but it is so wild to hear Donald Trump speak so cavalierly about it. And it's also just incredible to see RFK Jr. showing that he is only in this race to help Donald Trump. Thank you so much for watching. For more from the Occupy Democrats channel, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and if you'd like to see more of me, a link to my channel is in the description. Thanks so much.